Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. If you've stumbled upon this channel, just know this channel is all about yarn, knitting, crocheting, all the fun and antics and everything that goes along with those things. YouTube says you're supposed to like and subscribe, not me. I'm not the bully, it's them. But anyway, so I was looking through some things and I was reading some comments and responding some comments to my channel, right? I like to do that. That's how we get to know each other. Okay, and it kind of dawned on me, some people might think that I am more of a knitting channel as opposed to a crocheting channel, or something along that line. I do both. I definitely do both. I learned how to crochet when I was 10, and I'm not sure, I learned to crochet when I was a teenager, but because I taught myself, but I didn't really do anything with it until about 25, maybe 30 years ago. I've been saying 25 for a long time, so I'm not really sure when I really took off on knitting, but I definitely do both, and I go through spurts. Sometimes I crochet a bunch and other times I knit a bunch. That's just how that goes. But I definitely do both. I try to mix it up, and some of the other things. So I just wanted to show you something, a little something that, definitely fits in that crochet. But I wanted to talk first about a little bit of yarn because, hello, don't we love yarn? Isn't that why we're here? It's the yarn. I'm just saying. It gets us every time. It just does. So I've talked a lot about some of the different yarns and being able to use them for garments, and I'm a big fan of the fingering weight yarn. I know that is not everybody's cup of tea, but I am just trying my hardest to convert you. I 100% am. If money's tight, fingering weight yarn is the way to go. I'm just saying, right? There's things like that because you get for more yardage, more time to love it and enjoy it to get your project done. You have to work on delayed gratification, right? Because your project does take a little longer, but that's okay. And depending on what your project is that you're trying to make, using the smaller yarns, you have more opportunity to input more detail into your product. See, am I being a good salesperson? I'm trying. And then I was talking about some of the, and then I don't have my other yarn with me. That's okay. Some of the yarns that I have used, like this right here, this is Barocco Comfort Sock. This is 100 grams, 447 yards per 100 gram. Comes in lots of great colors. There you go. Had this one for a while, considering it was only $7. You're not going to get it for $7 now. But it is a 50% superfine nylon and a 50% superfine acrylic. So an easy care. And it does say that machine wash, tumble dry, do not iron, do not bleach. Although why would you bleach your yarn unless there's an accident anyway, but whatever. And it does say, yes, it is a size 1, superfine, I know you can't see that. That's not going to focus. Whatever. Trust me, it is. It's type 1. And then what else does it say on here? So it says crocheting, use a size D 3mm crochet hook or a size 3 3.25 millimeter knitting needles for your gauge swatch. Okay, got it. Well, and those are just suggestions. That's all that is. And it kind of dawned on me as far as there are certain yarns that are designated for socks. I mean, it's got sock in the name. It is designated for socks. Or like the Hobby Lobby Cozy Toes, if you can still get your hands on it. I know it's discontinued. That one, it's got toes in the name. It's sock yarn. If you do like that yarn though, you definitely need to check out Premier Yarn, their fruits, their sock yarn, fruits. It is the same yarn. It is different colors. It is the same yarn and it is stunning. For that, I've done things like the baby dress. It is the 93% acrylic, 7% PBT. I think that's what it is, or it's 97 and 3, whatever. I don't know what PBT stands for, but it's stretchy, it's great, it holds its color, its shape, everything. So where I'm going with this, I know this is knit, this is my own design, it's gorgeous, right? My opinion, it's gorgeous. But where I'm going with that is kind of thinking outside the box with some of these so-called sock yarns that I like to make garments with. So you see this? What is that? Look at that. That right there is called a baby doll dress. You're like, I can see that. I know. But that's really the name of the crochet pattern is Baby Doll Dress. The design is by Amy O'Neill Houck. And this is in the Interweave Crochet Book 2008. You're like, well, that doesn't help me. Yes, you can get a digital copy if you so choose. This is what the cover looks like. And there's a lot of fun things in that. And you're like, well, why are you showing me this? That doesn't look like fingering weight yarn. No, that dress, yeah, bear with me. I'm going somewhere. I'm just going like around the block 4 or 5 times before I get there, right? That dress is, it calls for brown sheep cotton fleece, which was an 80% cotton, 20% merino, a worsted weight yarn, very nice, right? Worsted weight, and using a size G, H, and I hook, depending on where you are in the pattern, right? You know, so you're doing, some of your shaping is by your hook size, not necessarily decreasing your stitches. You're using a smaller hook, and that is giving you a tighter gauge. Got it. Now, that is a worsted weight dress. I am not a petite woman, okay? It's just, there's a lot of me. It's okay, my husband likes it, so we're good, right? But I didn't want to do a worsted weight dress. So back in 2008, oh yeah, 2008, that's where we're going. We going in the way back machine, right? Back in 2008, a couple of my friends, right? Like I said, we do crocheting and knitting. And they're like, oh my gosh, I have to make this dress. All right, we'll make the dress. Let's all make the dress. And their skills were fine. Their skills were perfect. Their confidence wasn't there. Yes, all 3 of us made the dress, but their confidence at first wasn't there because, you know, we just sabotage ourselves, right? I mean, we all know how to do the stitches. We can do it, but their dresses were beautiful. So, of course, I'm going to go, let's think outside the box. I don't want to make my dress, you know, 40 something, bigger, right? With worsted weight yarn. I wanted to do mine with fingering weight yarn, right? Barocco Comfort sock yarn, this 50-50 split. And if I would have had it and known about it then, I would have used this. I'm just saying, because this has just such a gorgeous stretch to it, although this worked out really, really well. I did not make it in gray. I did it in red. Yeah. So if you ever have, oh, I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it. If you ever have, you know, for me, 3,150 some odd yards of comfort sock yarn, you don't have to make a bunch of socks for you and your entire family. You can crochet a dress with a size C crochet hook, because that's what I did. A size C crochet hook. And I have some pictures that I will put up, of course. So I have pictures of my daughter wearing this. I just put her in it. It is definitely too big for her. She's small, tiny, petite, but you know, I made it in 2008, right? And then I have a picture of me in 2014 wearing the dress, and I was going to wear it and have it here, but that's all you can see. The way I'm sitting is just the top part anyway, so you know, you didn't see the whole thing with it. So I think when it's daylight or something, it's probably time to take more pictures in this beautiful baby doll dress. And here you go. So here it is right here. So I used red, and I used 7 of those skeins of the Barocco Comfort and the size C crochet hook. And it turned out absolutely wonderful. So you've got, let me get that up here. So that's a lot of single crocheting in the back ridge, right? And creating that ribbed effect. You've got some shells going around, kind of where you can, that's the nice thing with crochet. If you make the neck or something too big, you just add another row of crochet around it, you know, bring it in just a little bit, you got it. So I've got that around here with the picot edges and stuff. And did a little treatment on that side, probably some crab stitch along with, I did some chains. Some chains and stuff right there. So it does have the nice baby doll neckline, you know, the tie right underneath the breast, and then the whole thing goes into all of the shells, and it is absolutely wonderful. So just wanted to show 7 balls of fingering weight sock yarn, which, you know, of this, I don't know how many I've used. On this, I've used 10, and I've used the yarn in other projects, right? I have used some of the gray, and I've got black, and I've got some of the other colors, but I've never made socks with a single skein of this. Never made socks. Just the same as the Cozy Toes, just the same as some of the other yarns that are designated sock yarn. I've really liked the composition. I liked the care of it. I liked the drape of it. For me on this dress, I like the fact that it's a little bit smaller. I wasn't using that larger, thicker yarn, heavier yarn. I wanted it to be a little bit more delicate. You know, I think that, my opinion, the bulky yarns can look great on the smaller people, but I'm already bulky and I don't need bulky yarn. You know what I'm getting at? You know, yeah. So I know worsted weight yarn is not bulky, but a worsted weight cotton merino dress seemed like a bit much to me. So that's not the route that I went. I was able to procure a whole bunch of red as far as that goes, and the nice black detailed little ribbon and everything that went there. I thought that worked out really, really well. Let me see if I can stand up, you can see a little bit better. So you can see that's, you know, it definitely goes down, not a problem, swings out. Yeah, I've got a dress on today too. Yeah. But it does swing out. It is really, really pretty. Here is the back. So you can see that it was, you know, like seamed right there, right? With your crocheting. And so this took, I don't know how long it took, because again, I made it in 2008. I'm not sure how long it took all of us to do ours. Pretty sure theirs was a little quicker than mine, working on the worsted weight and size G, H, I, whatever hooks, as opposed to the size C. I don't know if I increased the hook size any or just continued, because it's been that long. But that is my crochet dress. And I think I've mentioned that before, that yeah, I've done crochet stuff. I've played with things, right? And pulling out the book, because, well, if you've got it, pull out the book. We might as well go through this. You know, if you're interested in getting the digital copy, you can. I just checked. The digital copy is $14.99. I don't know if you can get just the pattern. I didn't see a link for just the individual pattern. It says, you know, just to the actual, here, go get the whole magazine. I mean, but there are some really cute patterns in the magazine that I thought were really neat. So look at these. These are not knit. This is a crochet magazine. Look at that. I mean, that is cool. I'm not sure. I'm like, that is, oh, is this Tunisian? Is that what that is? Did I just drool over a freaking Tunisian crochet pattern? Hi, LynnAnn. Hi. LynnAnn is from Nina's Knots and Crochet. Loves Tunisian, and I tease her a little bit. She does a great job, and yes, she's gotten me to actually play with Tunisian, but I think this is a Tunisian crochet pattern. I think that's what it is. Let me see. How do I read that? Is it? Because it looks like it, that looks like, I don't know if you can see it, those lines and everything, that's like the simple stitch, Afghan stitch there on that. I think that might be. Wow. Maybe not, but I'd have to look at that. It's not jumping out at me that it says, you know, here's how you do this thing. So I don't really know. Nope, you're following the chart, so I don't know. And I've never done Tunisian, well, I've not done Tunisian crochet with the colors like that, but you know what's really cool? Charts don't care. So even if this, it does look like Tunisian, even if this isn't Tunisian, whatever, it doesn't matter. So you've got all the charts laid out with that on where you put your colors and where that goes. So you could knit that, you could crochet that, you could do it the Tunisian like it says, you can do mosaic, you could do it however, whatever way you want to, whatever craft you want to. You might have to change your materials, like bigger materials or smaller materials, to get it to fit, you know, like the human size foot you're going for. You know what I'm getting at. We come in different sizes, just saying. But wow, that's cool. I like the color scheme on that too. That's pretty neat. Yeah, it's a Tunisian thing. I can't believe that. LynnAnn's rubbing off on me, maybe. I don't know. See, I have not pulled out my Tunisian shawl. I am working on it. It's slow because I've got lots of other things. And I have noticed that for me personally, and I think maybe it's my technique, because whatever. If I do too much, it kind of tweaks my right wrist, and I'm not doing anything that tweaks my hands because I love my crafts, and I'll just bounce to a different craft, right? But doesn't mean I can't do it, just means that it'll be a little slower. But look at this. All the crochet that is coming back and is so popular and so in style right now. Look at that. You see that? Wouldn't that be fun? Just whatever colors are your favorite, and you just go ahead and make that tunic. I mean, that is cool. That would be a lot of fun. So I'm like, okay, we got some cool stuff in here, and there's another one that I wanted to see besides that front cover. Oh, look at this. So they give instructions on how to do bust darts and doing shaping and stuff. Isn't that cool? I mean, we all kind of need that, because that's going to make our beautiful projects, instead of the boxes, you know, a lot of times and everything, it's like, here's a big rectangle, make two, put them together, right? Make straps. There, you got a top. Well, some of us, that's going to look the best on. Others, you want to do some shaping to accent some things and kind of hide others. You know what I'm getting at? You know, you want to do a little bit of shaping to do that. So it does have some stuff in here that helps you to figure that out. And that's really cool to do that with the shell stitch right here, and learning how to do some increases and decreases of the shell. I mean, we get it, and that's just adding like some bust darts and stuff, some waist shaping and bust darts. That's cool. I'm just learning how to really do that with knitting. I'm putting it in my knitting. Sometimes I do better than others. Sometimes I do it right, other times, but I'm learning. I don't think any of us are really experts. Maybe some people are. I'm not sure, but, and then this one, I like this. This is called the Geometry Dress by Lily Chin. Oh yeah, I can see why. I followed Lily Chin for quite some time. She has made some spectacular patterns. Remember the name? Definitely look her up. But this is hers. Look at that dress. I think that one right there would look great on a lot of people. You know, lots of different sizes, and being very flattering, because, you know, a lot of us will have maybe bigger tummies, bigger hips, bigger back sides, you know, just bigger things. And that right there, just really accenting the top portion and letting it flow. That is pretty. That is really nice. That is really using crochet to the best of its ability, I'm telling you. And then you've got other things like, look at this. Look at that. Isn't that a great cardigan? That's a really nice cardigan. That is really cool. And that one is Butterscotch Cardigan by Julia Vacanson. I'm not really sure, but they're all, like I said, in this one, and that cover right there, that is just gorgeous. But there are, I think, 19 patterns in here, something along that line. It does give you some interesting tips, techniques, and things along that might help you. I know that they can definitely help me on that with the dresses and stuff. They've got a little kids pattern in here too, because, you know, who doesn't like that? Those are fun, right? You can whip up a kids one pretty quick. Look at that. So that's pretty timeless. You know, I mean, 2008, but, you know, there you go. I think that works out well. I think that would work pretty cute. I don't know if I would do the hat necessarily, but the little dress is adorable, and I do like that. So just some fun stuff. And they've got a skirt in here too. I don't know. I can't see myself wearing the skirt, but that's just me. We all have different tastes. I've got some friends of mine that just love the crocheted stuff and everything, and they're like, I don't care, I'm wearing it, you know, and I don't know if I have that type of confidence to do that. But just wanted to show you a blast from the past, 2008 Interweave Crochet Magazine. If that excited you, if there were some things in there, you're like, I've got to do that. That looks great. That looks absolutely amazing. You can still get it on digital download. I'm not affiliated with anyone, just sharing with you. And then think outside the box. Yeah, okay. They said make this pretty dress in worsted weight. And you can look, I looked on Ravelry, there's 185 patterns in there, so you can look at a lot of people who have made that with various different types of material. I didn't check. I can't be the only one who made it in fingering weight, right? Maybe. Maybe. But that just goes to show your yarn is a suggestion. Now, if you use the different yarn, you're going to have to use, as Lori calls it, Lori from the Armchair Chef, crochet math, right? We understand that. All right, well, I knew for this panel to cover my breasts you know, you're working it up and down like that. Well, if I did the same amount of stitches they had and like that, and my breasts need that much coverage, guess what? I'm gonna make that panel a little bit longer, because yeah, we're covering, okay? We're covering. But you know, so that made it very easy to make it larger, because you're making the panel from this to here, right? And then you're going there, and then you add for the sleeves, going up for the sleeves. Very much what you know, but yeah, it's really not a difficult one to adjust to make it into a different size using the yarn that you have, the yarn that you want to use, right? Because sometimes we don't have the yarn that a pattern calls for. Very rarely do I use the yarn a pattern calls for. Those are suggestions. I've joked that I need to have like a little bell going, oh, look, I used the exact yarn for the pattern. You know, most of the time I make my yarn fit. Hello, fingering weight to make a worsted weight dress. Yes, that's the way that that goes. Yeah, so doing that type of stuff, have fun. Think outside of the box. You do not have to do exactly the way a pattern says. They are suggestions and guidelines, and that will get your creative juices flowing, and you're like, wow, I can make that. What does it look like in this material? I like mixing mediums. You know, I don't know how to do that with painting, but I appreciate it with other people that can paint and just do the different mixed mediums and adding different textures and things like that with their painting and what have you. But I do that with yarn. You know, I'm like, okay, well, this is in worsted weight. Well, what does it look like in fingering weight? What does it look like in lace weight? Not a garment. But, you know, I have done that. There's another pattern. Maybe I'll have to see if I have any. I don't think I have any. That I made 7 times. 7 times. I made this top, gave them away. I don't think I have any. I might have one. If I can find it, I'll talk about that one. But I did it with all the different materials because I could. 7 times, no kidding. So I'm not afraid of making things doubles, triples, etc. And just to see that difference, what does it look like, big, small, mini, the whole 9 yards. Just being, because you can. I mean, really, isn't that why it is? Because I could. Could I have gotten the yarn that it called for? Yeah, I could have. You know, that would have been fine. But the fun part and the challenge was make it fit the way I want it to fit. Make it work the way I want it to work. So my friends and I, we all made our dresses, and we all looked completely different in the way we did them because we used different mediums, different colors, but it was the same pattern. The essence was still there. And that's what I really like about doing the creativeness with knitting and crocheting. So this was definitely on my creativity with the crocheting and making something work and having fun. And I think the crochet crowd is extremely creative along that line. Fudging around, making things fit, making things work, adding a little here, taking a little away there just to make it fit properly. That's what we do. And that is exactly what I did with this dress. And I thought you would appreciate being able to see my, you know, pretty soon it'll be vintage, right? You know, so 2008, right? What is it, 20 years it's vintage? So, I mean, it's just, that's how that works. So here you go. So lots of fun, cute little baby doll dress. And you can make one too if you choose to. You now know how to get the pattern, and you know that you don't have to be afraid of whatever materials you want to use. Because you think about it, I did mine in fingering weight. They did theirs in worsted weight, so you could do yours in whatever weight you have on hand and like and are comfortable working with. And that's really it. What do you want to have on your body? What do you think would feel nice? What fits well working with your hands, in your budget, the color scheme? Can you get enough of it? Because that was 7 full skeins, okay? You know, over 3,000 yards of fingering weight yarn of the same color, right? So whatever it is that works for you, you can do it. Have fun. Tell me what you've done that you took something and made it your own, because I feel like for this one, I took it and I made it my own. Very much you can see it's the pattern. Very much it is somebody else's design, right? I am not claiming credit or ownership of it. I'm just like, this is my interpretation and I've made it mine, right? It is definitely my dress. But that's the way I look at it. Well, anyway, I've been talking about this and this beautiful dress and this crochet stuff for quite some time. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.